Come on now. There we go. We're live. Welcome to Keyboard Warriors, presented by CrossFitMMA.com. As usual, I am your host, Eddie Law, and with me from Stand and Bang Radio and Gem City Fighting, Fred Kirby. What's up, dude?
What's happening, fellas?
And Aaron Robbins. Before we start, go ahead and tell them about your site, dude.
Oh, we got a new website for Stand and Bang MMA podcast. It is artfully called standandbangmma.com. So now you can go to one spot. You got all the options, iTunes, one for Android, and a streaming player. If you go up to the top at the menu, we've got all of our previous episodes and our YouTube channel right there. So standandbangmma.com. Thanks, Ed.
Yeah, no problem. If you guys haven't listened to these guys' shows, they've had some of the awesome fucking guests. Sam Alvey was actually really good. Boz Ruin is probably my favorite so far. So that was overall it's pretty good. A lot of good shows you guys got.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about what happened last weekend morning. Of course, the card in Fairfax, Virginia went early because of the Final Four. As you know now, Duke is your national champion, and only one out of us three here gives a shit. So apparently me. And anyway,
Until you said that, I had no idea that Duke was my national champion.
It is your national champion. You just don't know it yet. Just like when baseball's over, I'm not going to know who my World Series champion is because I don't give a fuck about baseball. So that's just kind of what it is. And it has a little bit to do with the fact that the Diamondbacks suck ass, and I can't even watch them. They're horrible. All right, so let's talk about last weekend's card. Of course, your headliner was Chad Mendes against Ricardo Lamas. And the result is what I thought was going to happen. I just didn't think it was going to happen so damn quickly. And Chad Mendes looks like a fucking motherfucker. So, Aaron, what'd you think of that fight, man?
I loved it. I was talking with Justin Huffman, who sometimes comes on the show, and he was like, were you surprised at the result? And I was like, well, no. I thought Mendes would come out and look like a champion, and Lamas would make a mistake at some point and lose because, you know, he's under a lot of pressure. He really hasn't fought anybody like Mendes, in my opinion. And then he clipped him with that overhand right to the dome piece, and then it was kind of amusing to watch a guy struggle so hard. He did struggle hard. I mean, he was trying everything he could, but Mendes was on the money, held him down, pushed him back down, kind of stayed composed, landed good shots, and then thankfully the ref jumped in. I mean, wasn't that the fight where he kind of looked up at the ref and he's like, what the fuck? How hard do I got to beat this asshole? And, you know, kind of the ref was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll take my cue from you. You just stop. It's good now. Good.
Okay,
you know,
so many fights that we've seen like that, where a guy's on top of somebody else, or a girl's on top of another chick, and they're just beating the crap out of them, and they actually look at the ref while they're dropping bombs, you know, saying, like, are you going to stop this or not, you know? And then the ref goes, oh, you're done? You're done? Okay, yeah, stop that shit. Stop hitting him, you know what I mean? And it's fucking ridiculous. It's amusing as fuck, though.
But we do, I mean, at some point, not only are we going to have to talk about judging on this show, but there was one, what is it? Mike King was one of the refs. And he's right up there with fucking Jaron Vallel and Steve Mazzagatti and Yves Lavigne for the fucking, you know, officially bad officials. Didn't he stop a fucking fight? Didn't he stop the action while somebody had somebody else in the air?
Oh, I don't remember that. Who was it? I don't remember that, man. Who was that? Do you know?
I don't know. We'll have to look. We'll have to look on the computer to see if we can figure out which fight it was. I was so flabbergasted by him being such an incredibly dumb fuck that now I can't remember what fucking fight it was. I can just remember that he's a dick sucker.
That guy's a dick sucker. All right, Fred, what'd you think of the main event, man?
You know what I'm saying? Like Aaron said, it wasn't very surprising. I thought for sure Chad Mendes would win this fight. I think he hits harder. He's a better striker. He was a better wrestler. Like, just a way better all-around fighter, so the inevitable eventually ended up happening. The problem with that win, though, for him is I don't think people are really clamoring for another fucking title shot out of him just yet. Quite frankly, after this fight, I'm assuming that Chad Mendes becomes Conor McGregor's biggest fan, because if Conor dethrones Jose Aldo, then all of a sudden Chad Mendes is right on the money for another fucking title shot. If he doesn't, Chad Mendes is going to have to take another big fight. And I kind of think they're going to wait and see what happens with Frankie and Uriah, because there's really nobody else for him. If Frankie wins that fight, which he should, they'll probably do Frankie and Chad Mendes a little bit later this year.
Now, I got a question. Isn't Mendes alpha male?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what if Uriah wins?
Yeah, so all of those little fucking rubbing tuggers, they won't fight each other. So what the fuck happens if Uriah Faber does win that fight then? What? Everybody in the fucking flyweight division, featherweight division is just gonna be like, nope, we won't fight each other. I'm sorry, it can't go down a weight class because we got fucking QT Dillashaw. Can't go up a weight class because we've got guys up there too. So what? Everybody just quits their career because they can't stop stroking each other's dongs or what?
Well, Uriah could always go back down to 35, but then it still leaves Chapman. Maybe. I don't know.
Let's be clear. Uriah Faber is not getting another title shot, possibly ever. All right? Let's just fucking put it out there.
He probably ain't beating Frankie.
Every big fight that he's fought, he's lost. All right? Pretty much every big fight that he's had. And every title fight that he's had, he lost. Renan Barão, twice. He's not going to fight TJ. And TJ's about to fight Barão again. And, let's say Barão somehow beats TJ Dillashaw, you're not going to get that third title fight either. And you sure as hell aren't going to get Uriah Faber against either Aldo or McGregor because they'll both fuck him up. Well, except maybe not. He might have a shot against McGregor, but Aldo will fuck his shit up.
Who the fuck does Mendez fight next then, if that's not the case? If he doesn't get a title shot against McGregor, hypothetically.
It's got to be Frankie.
Yeah. But like you said, hypothetically, if Frankie loses, what the fuck is Mendez going to do? Fight Benson Henderson?
Okay, what do you think the actual likelihood that Frankie will lose to Uriah Faber and McGregor will win against Aldo? Those are pretty tough odds.
Quite frankly, I like the McGregor odds a lot better than fucking Uriah's odds, just for the record. But
yeah, well, if Andrew Reed and Smiling Sam have anything to do with it, you'll be cutting that fucking cute beard off your face here.
Wait, did you guys make a bet?
Yeah, I think there's a Twitter bet going on that if Conor loses, I gotta shave. So.
Oh, dude, you've been fucking growing that thing and fucking Instagramming the shit out of it for months, man.
Yeah, I know, man.
Hey, have you seen this fucker's Instagram, Aaron? Dude, you need to go look at that shit. Every other day, he's like another centimeter to my beard, up in the DAY or whatever the fucking.
No,
the DYT, the DAY, the DYT. What the fuck?
He's so proud of Dayton.
The only one I ever commented on, he's still laying on his pillow, so his mouth is going the wrong way. It looks like an unshaved cunt.
Yeah, I thought that's exactly where your mind went with that. That's fucking perfect.
Hey, you gotta be fucking careful with me, man. Don't fucking pass out at a party.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, clearly.
You gotta kick your shoes off if you do, because you're gonna get fucked with.
And glue your fucking lips shut, obviously.
Hey, you know how hard it is to find vagina hair nowadays? You gotta take what you can get, fucker.
Hey, Andrew tweeted out saying, starting early with the Kirby drinking game. Every time he mentions Conor, he takes a drink.
Hey now.
We might lose Andrew Reed today to fucking alcohol poisoning.
Hey, Andrew, while you're watching the show, there's another drinking game that Kirby and I are going to start doing. I don't drink, but I know that some of the fans of the show must. I say fantastic every 30 seconds on Saturday. And so I've decided that the fans of the show should take a shot every time I say fantastic. And the first time that there's an alcohol-related death, I think that'll be scary enough for me to change my speech habits.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. They're going to love the show now because they're going to be fucking hammered by the second segment. This is fucking great. You hear this shit? Fucking Jules.
By the 50th minute, people will be fucking getting taken to the hospital and shit. What happened? I was listening to Stan and Bang.
Dude, you know what? It was the Boss Rutan episode where I realized you did that a lot. You say fantastic a shitload. Yeah, and
thanks, Ed. Go fuck yourself.
Whatever, dude. That's not as bad as a certain somebody else that goes in the show, not named Fred Kirby. And if we played a drinking game with just dumb shit this guy says, it'd be bad. This is just my personal opinion. That's it. Okay, just to clear it up. Disclaimer.
Do you mean and whatnot?
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah. And whatnot. And I'm like, oh my God, stop.
All right. Now speaking of whatnot, let's go on to the. Are you booing me? Fuck you, because that was the most exciting.
Please.
All right. So Iaquinta and Jorge Masvidal had a fucking. I mean, look, it was a great fight for Masvidal, and Iaquinta, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinions, got outclassed on the feet. Somehow, some way, the judges give a split decision to Iaquinta, to which the entire planet booed, but specifically that arena. And then if you've seen Iaquinta's post-fight interview, he starts yelling at the crowd. He says, "Are you booing me? You better not be booing me. I fucking fought my ass off. Fuck you." He literally says, "Fuck you" to the crowd.
But it's the way he says it. It's the way he says it, like a little girl, that makes it great. Fuck you! Okay, the best thing that I've seen shake down from this fight so far is a meme. You know, the world's most interesting man, that dude that drinks Dos Equis? It was a picture of Al Iaquinta, and it says, I don't always lose fights, but when I do, I still win. Fuck you.
Oh, it's fucking perfect. No, but that was a fuck decision, and everyone fucking knows it. Al Iaquinta thinks he won that fight, but as a person that went in there, a guy that went in there and fucking got the shit kicked out of him, he probably would think that he won that fight.
Here's the thing, and I'll get you. I want your opinion on this. Obviously, George looked fantastic in the first round. Almost finished in the first round. Opened up a big gash under the eye. You know what I mean? Liver kicks the whole nine. Now, without question, he backed off the gas for 2 and 3. But although he backed off the gas and Iaquinta was aggressive, Iaquinta wasn't hitting him. He was missing. He was very aggressive, hitting air and hitting where Masvidal wasn't. But except for when Masvidal clowned him a couple times and he got tagged and kind of got his head knocked back, I didn't see Iaquinta land anything significant. And then, Ed, I don't know if you can pull up the statistics real quick, but, the statistics show, Masvidal outstruck him almost 2 to 1. And and stopped 8 takedown attempts?
And even because I ended up having listening to Iaquinta's interview on Helwani's dipshit show. He was saying, like, what do you mean 8 takedowns? Did you see me try to take him down 8 times? And I'm just like, yeah, we did fucking see that. But it says 0 of 9 on takedowns, and you're right, he almost doubles the output that Iaquinta put out. And somehow all those stats add up for a win for Iaquinta.
Not only is he a lot more, but his percentage is higher. So, right there, anybody who defends it, because I know there's people rushing to Twitter to defend Iaquinta. And then it's like, I love the fans that even when you present them with statistics, they're like, nope, don't dazzle me with facts. I'm going to bullshit you. Iaquinta won. It's like, all right, whatever. They're probably from fucking Jersey. That would be my guess.
Absolutely. And if you didn't see on there on the screen, Andrew Reed tweets back, I'm waiting for fantastic Conor McGregor to appear. The red wine is already half empty. This drinking game is getting fucking serious, dude. So we're just waiting for a fuck up from both of you.
All right. Hey, that's fantastic, Andrew. You have a good time getting drunk in our time.
Conor McGregor. Have fun, my dude.
Have a fantastic drink on me, you fucking lush.
So clearly that pissed the fuck out of because Masvidal couldn't get out of that cage fast enough, and Iaquinta ended up after he cussed out the crowd saying I'm good, and walking out. And he also said that a couple kids flipped him off. He deserved it after all that shit. But he said a couple kids flipped him off and all this other stuff. His little vagina was hurt because people were calling out, booing him and shit. And it's not like they were booing him. They were booing the decision. They didn't start booing him until he said "fuck you" to the crowd. So
no better. In my estimation, there's no better way to make friends than to tell them to go fuck themselves.
It's a great way to make fans,
Yep.
So listen, let me address this shit. Before we get to Iaquinta and his fucking belly aching, let me just say that we need to start holding people fucking accountable. So I'm gonna give a great big fuck you to these cats here. If you can read this, hopefully.
It's fuck you to Dave and Cardo.
That's right. And for all the fans out there that don't know who these fuckers are, these are the 2 assholes that scored it for Iaquinta. So the judges need to be held accountable for their fuck-ups. You 2 assholes needn't be working no more because there's no fucking way that Iaquinta won that fight. Cruise control, laid off the gas, my tits. Iaquinta did no fucking damage. There's no way that dude won that fight. And then for him to get pissed off and start telling the crowd, fuck you, fuck that. Those fuckers paid good money to come in there and watch you fight. Guess what, Iaquinta? Even if you did win that fucking fight, which you didn't, even if you did, the fans still have the right to boo you. They have the right to hate you because they fucking paid money to. They pay your salary, Jack. Like Smiling Sam said, You got to kiss a little ass, man. You can't fucking fuck them. Fuck you, Al Iaquinta. Now we're not buying no more of your shit. And nobody wants to see you fight. How about fuck that? You're not fucking 16 years old no more, dude. You're a full-grown professional on fucking Fox. Act like it.
Like, I don't know, man. I'm not exactly sure where the prices shake down, but let's say that I drop a cool $200 to sit close enough to actually see the fighters. Short of throwing something at them, I believe verbally I should be able to chant cocksucker the entire time I'm there because I paid my entry fee. Now, I wouldn't, just because that would take too much energy. But I'm just saying I could, and I should be allowed to because I paid my money. So really booing, I mean, that to me that's so infantile. You better not be booing me. I mean, it's not like they were calling your mother a whore.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's not like they were questioning your sexuality. The crowd didn't start off with a chant of fucking faggot or homo or anything like that. They're just, boo, we didn't like that decision. Yo, fuck you. To me, that made it sound kind of like maybe he knew he didn't win that fucking fight. You know, why are you so defensive?
Exactly.
Yeah, and in his interview with Helwani was sucking his dick and shit like, oh, you know, it's not that bad and blah, 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 and all that bullshit. So, oh, by the way, Andrew Reed tweeted back, not even simply, he just tweeted back the word cunts. That's all he had. That's all he had on that one. So.
Aptly put.
Yeah, I'm a fan of those too, Andrew. Thank you.
So anyway, rest of the card here is not really much to fucking talk about.
Yeah.
How about Pena? How about Pena coming back?
Okay, fair enough. That was.
Yeah, look, here's the problem I have with the Pena thing. Look, it's great that she's back healthy. It was great to see her fight just like she normally does. The problem is the competition wasn't up to par. The competition was not up to par, and then right after the fight, everyone starts losing their shit saying, oh, we should challenge Ronda Rousey. And I'm like, if she fights like she did against Dudieva, whatever her last name was, Rousey's going to finish her faster than Ngannou.
Yeah, here's the thing. What people are, you know, I understand that Ronda Rousey's the gold standard, but everybody's rushing that shit. How about let's just pay attention to the fact that she was gone for 2 years, came back with one of the worst knee injuries you can possibly have without it being amputated, and didn't fucking fall apart like Dominic Cruz immediately after the fight. At least she's going to get to fight again. So who gives a shit? At least now she'll get to get better, man. There was a bunch of ring rust, and she was, I mean, quite frankly, at the end of that fight, she looked like a silverback gorilla smashing on a fucking chimpanzee. That's what that shit looked like. There was no skill. I mean, she was just like, yeah, Pena smashed. It's like, okay, I don't know. I mean, obviously her opponent sucked. All I was happy to see is that knee held up. It didn't get hurt. She didn't seem scared. And now hopefully she can have that be a springboard. If she truly does have the potential that it looked like she did on The Ultimate Fighter, now she can springboard from that fight, get 3 or 4 more solid wins, and then we can start talking about something ridiculous like her challenging for the title. After one shitty performance, even though she won, I mean, that's kind of like rushing to judgment, I think.
Absolutely, especially coming off a knee injury. And like just like you were saying, it's nice to see her healthy. It's great to see her healthy, and I agree. 3-4 solid wins, nothing too crazy like a fucking, you know, like a lay and pray win or anything bullshit like that, which I don't think she would do, but even though she is a tough wrestler. You know, 3-4 more wins, yeah, you're right. We can talk title shot then, but I mean, whether or not Ronda Rousey's a champion at that point, we don't know yet. But I think it's a solid bet that she would be. Anyway, your thoughts?
I'm glad her knee held up, but honestly, I hate to criticize her. How long did she have old girl mount for? A fucking month of Sunday she had that broad in mount. Like, she finally finished the fight. I was thinking at one point she had her so dominated. Like, why didn't she just put an arm bar on her? Like, homegirl's arms were just like waiting to be snatched. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, she's hitting her with the fucking. That's cute and all, but like, how much damage is she really doing? She should have saved up on 1 or 2 shots and fucking elbowed that broad's face through the fucking canvas.
Yeah, I don't think it was a month. I don't think it was a month of Sundays. I think it was like 2.5 weeks of Sundays.
Half a month.
Bullshit. It was like fucking 4 minutes she was on top of that broad in the mountain. She should have fucked her up a lot quicker than she did. No, especially for the Ronda Rousey talk.
No, you're absolutely right, because it was just that flailing, that double hammer fist stuff. I mean, how effective is that? All you got to do is this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she could have.
So
she could have looked a lot more impressive. I mean, she was coming off a really bad fucking injury and a long layoff, so I guess I shouldn't fucking be hating on her. She looked good, but the Ronda Rousey talk is fucking way premature, Jack. She needs to fight a couple more tougher girls and, you know, do a little bit more proving before we get out of hand like that.
Here's a question. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go nuts, man. It's your show.
No, I was actually gonna switch over to something different, but if you have anything else on this, go for it.
I got nothing.
I was gonna say, because Kat Zingano actually gave her first interview yesterday, and I mean, look, you got to think about her performance. You know, coming out the way she did was stupid, and she got finished in 14 seconds or 12 seconds, according to Jean LaBelle. But how many fights, how many wins do you think Zingano needs to get back to a title shot?
Two.
Yeah, 2. I would say 2.
Is it, you think
no, 2 fucking impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on who she fights, 2 wins. She's definitely more than 1 win away for sure, man. I mean, I guess it ended kind of fluky, but, you know, I don't know. I'm not clamoring to see that fight again. You know what I'm saying? So.
I mean, I want to see it again, but not in the manner with how it went down, man. I want to see her do her actual game plan. Whenever people say that someone starts slow, that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, every single time, and she got, according to the interview, she got kind of butthurt and sick of people saying that she started off slow, so that's why she decided to come out running like a psycho.
Yeah, and the best strategy is to always listen to fucking assholes like us for your coaches. When the crowd tells you that they don't like you to be a slow starter, you should change your whole fucking career to make us happy.
Well, exactly. Yeah, change everything that's been working for you so fucking far and jump on some dumb shit you've never done before.
Well, Jesus Christ, there's an in-between area, too. You don't have to fucking bull charge her in the first 6 seconds of the fight to not be a slow starter. She could have just came out and threw a couple fast jabs to kind of get her attention, not fucking charge at her.
Yeah, exactly. Right there, like I've said to you guys now for weeks, in my estimation, I cannot think of another bigger mistake than that. Like, there probably is larger mistakes, but not with that on the line. Where you make that mistake in your career where you're like, this might be the only time I ever fight for a title. Watch this fucking moronic shit. And just charge at her like fucking Bobby Boucher from The Waterboy. What the fuck?
I guess it doesn't really bother me, man, because I don't really feel like Kat Zingano's got a chance at beating Ronda Rousey. Like with the Junior Dos Santos and Kane, the first fight, going into the second fight, it felt like if Kane didn't get clipped, that fight could go differently, and it fucking did. I don't give a fuck if Kat Zingano runs at her, doesn't, plays jabs. Eventually, she's getting fucking taken down in an armbar. I don't think Kat Zingano wins that fight ever. That's why I just, she could win a couple fights and maybe get the rematch, but what is she really going to do that's going to beat Ronda Rousey? Like, I just don't. It doesn't excite me because I don't really think she's actually got a legit chance.
Hey, I've got something for you guys. Is Ronda Rousey fighting anytime soon?
Betch Correa?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's watch that one shake down before we fucking worry about it. Because you never know. Everybody's got a fucking puncher's chance. So let's see what the hell happens, man.
You know what? I think Betch Correa talked too much shit, and Karma's going to bite her in the ass for talking all that shit. But I mean, look, that's just Ronda Rousey. That chick's a freaking, lady killer. No, that's someone's nickname, sorry. But that chick's that's like a monster in the bantamweight division. But, okay.
All right, so Eddie, there's a little bit of disparity here that you wanted to talk about, right? You believe that Lauren Murphy won that fight against Liz Carmouche.
Barely.
Explain yourself. Was it the power hugging?
It was the power hugging. All right? Because if judges are gonna judges need to be consistent on their bullshit. If they're gonna suck the entire way through and give fighters points for power hugging and humping on the ground.
Well, then you're wrong. So go fuck yourself because they gave Ron Stalling the fight, and fucking Lazy Bones power hugged him the whole goddamn fight, and Ron Stalling got it. So they were consistent, cunt. They weren't fucking giving out fights for power hugging that night.
Oh, man, who gives a fuck? That fight sucked. Fuck both those broads. They should both get their win bonus taken. They should give it to me for a new fucking house. Fucking struggling. Fuck
Kirby.
them.
Jesus Christ, settle down, man. Take your fucking meds.
Enough with that.
No one said the fight was good. We're wondering who won the fucker.
Who gives a flying fuck?
Clearly,
with that bitching.
Clearly, it was a terrible fight. I agree with you 100%, my friend. That fight was not fantastic.
Oh shit! Okay.
Well, I tell you what. She did get shafted though, because she's going around and boohooing. I fought so hard. I really felt like I won that fight. No, bitch. George won his fight. You got the bad end of a wrong decision, maybe, but come on, fuck, you didn't fucking really win that fight like that. Not to be complaining and crying the way you are. Get over it. Try harder next time.
Kirby, have you ever tried to keep a bear hug on somebody for 15 minutes? That's just pretty hard on your arm muscles.
Yeah, you get sore and tired. At some point, you're gonna let go of that shit.
Especially if a broad don't want to be hugged. I won't tell you how I know that, but it's hard to hug them if they don't want to be hugged.
Yeah.
We know about Liz Carmouche. She loves to be hugged. I'll say that much.
She looks like Uriah Favorite with a wig on.
Yeah, I don't think she wants to be hugged by her.
Yeah, interesting enough, that point was brought up on Twitter. I forgot about who, but Uriah Faber and Liz Carmouche look alike, and then Vanderlei Silva and Cyborg. Maybe someone stole someone's idea at that point. So, anyway.
Damn, who clowned Uriah like that?
I don't. That's everybody. It's been like that for a while. They both got butt chin. They both look the same. I'm just saying.
Up.
Anyway,
on my dude Uriah like that.
Before we move on, let's talk about two more fights here. Gray Maynard, is he done?
Yes.
Yes. Fuck. He should be, right? Like, fucking. You know what? Just to spend a minute on Gray Maynard, what a motherfucking fall from grace, right? This is a guy who almost became the only dude to snuff out Frankie Edgar twice. Didn't work. Eventually got finished by Frankie and got his motherfucking soul taken, Jack. Like, this dude, he's curtains now, right? I don't even know if that dude could compete in WSOF at this point. Like, it's such a fall from grace. It's fucking sad, man.
It is one of those cases, man, where that not getting knocked out changed him. I think it's a mental thing, though. Before that, Gray Maynard was this tough guy, you know what I mean? He's so durable. He's got a granite chin. Such a great wrestler. This and that, and fucking semis going back by my window so you guys can hear the fucking traffic. And then he gets knocked out that one time, and then it just seems like they replaced him with a completely different guy. You know what I mean? And then this last performance, what season of The Ultimate Fighter was he on?
What the fuck? Like the third?
What was it? Yeah, it was like single digits for sure.
Yeah, dude. We're talking about a guy who legit probably could go on to the next phase of his MMA career and be a coach or whatever, and it wouldn't really be that big of a shock. I mean, the guy's got to be what, mid-30s by now?
I want to say 33. I want to say 33.
I have no idea, but I would assume. And it doesn't really matter, honestly, dude. What Shogun's like fucking 22, right? That dude's young as fuck, but he fucking has been in the game forever, man. So it doesn't really matter how old he is. He's got a lot of wear and tear on him, and he does not fucking compete like he used to, man. So
yeah, Maynard's 35 years old, and he's lost 4 in a row against T.J. Grant, Nate Diaz, Ross Pearson, and now Alexander Yakovlev. If he's not cut from the UFC, if he's not retired, he's for sure cut from the UFC. That's fucking 4 ugly losses, man.
He's one of the Ultimate Fighter cast. Obviously, Josh Koscheck. They don't cut those assholes no matter how many times they lose.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks, and Gray Maynard needs to be done, man. You're right. He'd be a great coach of somebody, I'm sure, but it's I don't know. I hate when fighters hang on too damn long, and he's definitely one of them. And real quick, before we move on to the last fight I want to talk about, would you put JDS, Junior Dos Santos, in that category of guys that should just stop?
No. What the fuck is going on with this? He fucking won his last fight. You people. What the fuck? He isn't getting knocked out. Why on earth would JDS need to retire? He's winning still. You
people. Hey, you be sensitive. We got a Mexican on the show. You know, fucking racist shit.
Jesus Christ. Always with the racism. The fucking Twitter haters.
Aaron, what do you think of that? You think you think JDS should be in that category of dudes who should just quit?
It's tough. It's tough to say. He's getting damaged now, like with Stipe Miocic, but Stipe Miocic is no joke. That was a really tough fight. Those guys fought really hard. So for Junior Dos Santos to look all lumpy and bumpy after that fight, well, all right, man. Stipe Miocic is no joke. Yeah, he hits hard. I would like to see him fight again to see, because he was off. Everybody should be able to admit that he was off during the Stipe Miocic fight. Stipe fought really well, and Junior Dos Santos did not fight up to his skill level. Usually that guy looks great. Like the Junior Dos Santos that fought against Kane the first time, or the Junior Dos Santos that fought against Frank Mir. That's what I'm used to seeing. A guy who's like light on his feet and a good boxer. With Stipe, it just wasn't there. So I'd like to see his next performance before I give any kind of judgment, because I'm not one of those people, Kirby.
I think he looks fine. I think he looks fine. I think Stipe is a good motherfucking fighter. I think Stipe is a way better fighter than Frank Mir is. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that JDS has really lost much of anything. Like you said, what the fuck? He came out looking lumped up. Stipe's a big dude that hits hard as fuck. Of course he was lumped up. He just got his face touched on for fucking 25 minutes by a huge man trying to kill him. But, you know, just to say he looks like shit after his fights, that, you know, I don't know. If we start seeing interviews of his and, you know, he starts sounding like Chuck Liddell that just took fucking 15 Xanaxes, then yeah, like clearly he's fucking spaced out a little bit. But he's fine, man. He just looks like shit after he fights. He's a fucking heavyweight and he gets socked in his face. What are you gonna do?
If the answer to all of his questions start to become "I like caterpillars," it's
right,
time for him to move on.
Exactly.
If you start speaking English clearly, yeah, that's a fucking problem at that point. It's not normal.
Exactly. Thank you so much for asking me, Ariel Helwani.
Just like, if Jose Aldo came out speaking clear English, I'm like, retire, dude. You're done. You got English beat into your head somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Something sprung loose.
Yeah. So, all right. Last one I want to talk about in this card, and it's because he's actually slated to fight in New Orleans against Yancy Medeiros. It is Dustin Poirier against Diego Ferreira. Impressive, in my opinion. That was probably one of the more impressive wins by Poirier. And a fight that a lot of people expected to go much, much longer, didn't. Aaron, what was your opinion on that fight?
Looked great. Fred and I have talked about this in depth. We talk about it with Sam Elvey on Stand and Bang. One of the worst things that a fighter can do is deplete themselves too much, fight in too light of a weight class, and we're seeing these guys go up. What did you say, Kirby? Tim Means went up. Obviously Rumble Johnson went up a couple. We got Poirier moving up. These guys aren't depleting themselves. So A, they're more durable, and B, they're stronger on fight night, and that was obvious because he did take a couple good shots. And I'll tell you what, Conor McGregor did clip him, but it wasn't a world-killing shot. It wasn't fantastic. It was behind the ear.
Always an opportunity to shit on fucking Conor. We ain't even talking about Conor, but there we go. Taking the opportunity to piss right on my Irish brethren.
I will always take the opportunity to piss on Conrad McGillicuddy. So he clipped him behind the ear, and Poirier went down. Now, Ferreira hit him this weekend harder than Conor did and more solid than Conor did, and he didn't move. So I think that 10 pounds went great. Yancy Medeiros is coming off of an injury. I think this will be a really good fight. Yancy Medeiros had some good momentum before his injury. He's one of those Hawaiian guys, pretty durable, pretty flashy. He's got the spinning move, stuff like that. Friend of Max Holloway. They train together. I really think that this is a great matchup. I want to see what Dustin Poirier can do against Yancy in lightweight. It'll be an interesting match.
Yeah, Fred, what do you think of that?
Conor McGregor.
Yeah. yeah. I mean,
we're gonna fucking kill Andrew. Okay, cut the shit.
Yeah, that's why he's not tweeting no more. He's fucking curtains. Andrew's already asleep over his tweeter button ended a long fucking time ago. Listen, Aaron did touch on a great point, man. I think that moving up a weight division is going to become the new weight cut. I think guys are going to cut this shit out, man. Fighters are going to look around and understand that fucking it's no fucking coincidence that fuckers that stop depleting the fuck out of themselves don't get knocked out as easy. They do got more fucking energy, more gas in the tank. They do punch harder. I think that this is going to become a real thing, and that's fucking awesome too, man. Nobody likes seeing people get on the scale looking like motherfucking James Sandman Irvin. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nobody wants to see you look like you're a cunt hair from death on the scale, and then nobody wants to see you actually not fight at your top capacity because of making some crazy weight cut, man. So Dustin Poirier moving up to 55 is fucking awesome. And I think that he'll beat Medeiros, actually, man. I think that Poirier is fucking tough. And no matter how much you guys like to fucking piss on Conor, I think that I think that's the win. Everybody fucking brings up the Seaver win. Well, he didn't deserve it with Seaver. Yeah, whatever. Maybe he didn't. But Poirier was the win that he fucking got the title shot on. Seaver was just the icing on the cake.
Are you really starting with that fucking voice? Because I can go back to the Brimage shit if you start up with that fucking voice.
Yeah. So Poirier is doing himself a favor by going back up to 55. But let's not forget who chased him out of featherweight, goddammit. The King.
Oh, you mean the guy who beat Marcus Brimage?
Yeah. That fucking guy.
He's calling him the King. What the fuck? Anyway, all right. Speaking of guys that moved up in weight and actually had a pretty successful fight, Benson Henderson is actually going to fight Jorge Masvidal. It's agreed for UFC 186, supposedly to save the card. We can argue all day whether.
Wait a second. That's official or that's speculation?
They said they agreed to fight. It's not official yet. UFC hasn't said shit. They're too busy in Poland right now.
What are they doing in Poland?
Something about Gonzaga and Crow Cop fighting again. I'm not sure.
I hadn't heard of anything. I hadn't heard anything about that fight. Unless you pull up my Instagram, I made a funny meme today. That shit's fucking hilarious.
I'm gonna have to look it up while one of you guys is talking. But anyway, fucking.
That's a fun fight, though. That's a fun fight. Listen, that's a fun fight, and if that is true and that fight comes to fruition, fucking good on the UFC, because Jorge deserves a fight like that. He deserves a name, and he deserves to be treated like he just now won that fight with Iaquinta. So if that all shit is true, that's good, man, because Benson Henderson's a big name, and Masvidal deserves that shit.
Fred and I talked about this, Sunday, is that sometimes Dana White and the powers that be do what's right. They know who won that fight. And so Masvidal should be getting the top 5 guy or the top 10 guy to see if he can move up. And Iaquinta lost. Fuck you. He lost. And so he shouldn't get to move up to that fucking top 10, top 5 spot. So I hope he does get Benson Henderson. That'd be great.
And yeah, I mean, look, this is gonna be a great fight, just like Fred was saying. All right, moving on from UFC, let's talk a little bit of Bellator here. Bellator basically, or is it not Bellator? It's what's the company? The fucking heck, the parent company?
Viacom.
Thank you, Viacom. Basically won the decision from the courts saying that Rampage can't fight at UFC 186. And
no.
And that's why. Here's the thing. People are saying that Benson Henderson's got to save this fucking UFC 186 card. It was dog shit before he fucking got on. Before Rampage got on there. As soon as they lost TJ against Barao, and the headliner is Demetrius Johnson. As great as Demetrius Johnson is, he's fighting some guy in Horiguchi that no one fucking knows or cares about.
Fuck you. I know Horiguchi. That's gonna be a good fight. Fuck all you people who don't pay attention to 125. That's gonna be an action-packed fight. And you're all a bunch of fair-weather cocksuckers who don't really like the sport.
Fuck you! No, you booing me? Aaron's gonna start saying, "Are you booing me?"
Yeah, yeah, I don't think anybody really gives a fuck that Rampage isn't on the card anymore. Nobody. I mean, it's not like Rampage was going to make a go at it at 205. I guess here's the thing with the Rampage fight. It was cool that Rampage was on the card, but not in the co-main event. You know what I mean? If they do line up the fucking Benson Henderson fucking Masvidal fight, I would much rather see that as the co-main event because it's a fucking relevant fight about 2 fighters who might actually still matter. As much as I love Rampage, and quite frankly, for the record, let me just say this too. I can't fucking stand the fact that fucking Rampage is sponsored by Monster. It drives me crazy. He almost fucking killed people all hopped up on Monster. That's just fucking ridiculous. I can't stand seeing him wear that fucking hat. But other than that, he doesn't need to be fighting. Nobody cares what the fuck.
Why don't you tell everybody that story, Fred, instead of just hinting at it and then being like, he tried to kill people on Monster, then not tell it. Tell the little story, because maybe not everybody knows that fun little tale.
Okay, well, yeah, a few years ago, Rampage, was it after a loss, I think? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was after an infamous loss of his. he decided to go out and get all hopped up on monsters, and he drove his fucking big-ass monster truck down a fucking a street somewhere in Vegas and smashed up a bunch of cars and almost killed some fucking people, all hopped up on Monster energy drink. The fucking same people who sponsored me.
Yeah, thank you for the quotation marks, because I have had a lot of caffeine before in my life and a lot of taurine all at once, and I never got into a monster truck and crushed cars. There has been other times in my life where perhaps there were other mind-altering substances that, I might have been able to climb a telephone pole. So, yeah, I think that wasn't just Monster. And he's clearly not sponsored by Yayo. So, I mean, come on, let's not get too friggin',
So, hold up. I don't know if it's come up for you guys yet, but this is the meme that Rampage Jackson put up as a response to the to Bellator.
That's good. And it's fucking actually debatable, is what's sad about it.
Yeah.
There are more Rampage fans than Bellator fans. Included in there was this part right here. It says, smart move, Bellator. Go to a small town where your company knows the judge to get a judgment to piss off your customers. Ain't worried about nothing.
Yeah.
Strong words.
Yeah, so I mean, look, he's got a point. I think there are more Rampage fans than there are Bellator fans. Just out of the fact that Rampage has been around way longer than Bellator. But
I do enjoy a guy who has so little foresight that he leaves the company before his contract's up, tries to sign up with somebody else, tries to fight, and then when he can't, says fuck you to the company that he's still in contract with, so he can't fight there either. Good luck getting a paycheck.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, what does Bellator do with this shit? And I just put him on the shelf, just let him hang out, and not make sure he doesn't make money.
That's what Fred and I talked about earlier. I think they just shelf him until no one cares.
Yeah, and listen, that won't be very long. 6.5 weeks from now, Rampage is going to have bad knees and a bad back, and it's going to be all fucking over for him anyways. So maybe they'll line up. Maybe they'll line up him and Kimbo finally after Kimbo thumps on fucking Ken Shamrock.
I tell you what, man. When Fred said it ain't going to be long, I almost looked at my watch. I mean, that's how short of a fucking time frame we're talking about before nobody gives a rat's ass.
All right, so now Bellator's got his contract. He can't go fight for the UFC. Bellator's probably going to shelf him. I mean, what does Rampage do now? I mean, just go get a day job. I mean, that's basically where he's at.
A-Team 2.
Yeah, not yet. Rampage will be fine. He's a personality. He'll be able to make money, but he probably won't be fighting for a while. Bellator's going to do their best to keep his ass on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? What's really surprising to me, man, is the UFC. I don't know. Don't you guys think it's a little weird that they jumped the gun so fast on celebrating this? They put him on a card, and they did all this promoting. And come on, man, they're the smart guys in the room. Bellator, Viacom, all the rest of us, we're the dummies, man. Usually the UFC does know what the fuck's going on. They're steering the ship in the right direction. I'm kind of surprised they jumped so full bore on this thing, knowing, because they're not stupid. Whoever their lawyers are knew that this was at least a slight possibility that this could backfire and they wouldn't get Rampage. So it is a little surprising that the UFC started promoting him so full bore with this shit.
Yeah, no, I would agree. They did jump the fucking gun for sure. And I wonder if maybe the UFC might be a little pissed off at Rampage for possibly misrepresenting the facts. But if you're the UFC, you should have fucking checked the contract. So maybe, and this is a theory, the UFC kind of did it on purpose. Maybe they're tired and sick of Rampage's shit, so they said, yeah, come back and fight. Now all this shit's out in the public. Rampage is the one that's going to come out looking bad. All right, it's not even really going to be Bellator. It's going to be Rampage Jackson coming out looking bad. And his career is basically finished and ruined. I mean, he did it himself, but still, before that. Or now it's a little more extra ruined. That's just a theory out there. It's not my theory. It's just something I read on Twitter.
It's a fucking conspiracy theory there, Eddie.
I'm just saying.
We're going a little bit too fucking far-reaching, and that's a little bit much of a tangled web right there. I think it's more complicated than that. I think it has to do with fucking aliens and Nazis. No, bullshit. It's a washed-up fighter who is still in contract with fucking Bellator. It's not a fucking worldwide conspiracy to keep the man down. Let's be fucking realistic over here. Jesus Christ.
Hey.
And trust me, fucking Rampage didn't misrepresent himself. How many lawyers do you think the UFC has on fucking retainer? When they looked at Rampage's contract, they clearly could read it. You know what I mean? It wasn't a confusing situation to them. I think they rolled the dice. Honestly, I think they just said, you know what? Fuck you, Viacom. We're huge. or fuck you, Bellator, we're huge, you're not. Viacom, all right, now let's see let's see if you're going to whip your cock out. And they did. Viacom was like, all right, watch this. Injunction, boink. You know what I mean? I think it was brinksmanship. That's what I think it was. But, they were like, fine, come back aboard. We'll see what happens. We'll roll the dice. And in this case, they rolled the dice and they lost. But what did they lose? Fabio Maldonado versus Rampage Jackson. It's not like it was Anderson Silva versus Rampage Jackson, or fucking Chuck Liddell versus Rampage Jackson, which would be the UFC's version of Bonner versus Ortiz. It was Fabio Maldonado. Who gives a shit?
True.
I hear you. And by the way, you guys remember Davey Boy?
Of course.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he's back. He says Poirier has one fight in the UFC at 155. People, calm your tits. Also, guess who's back? Hashtag this guy. So,
Clearly.
Welcome back, Davey.
I'm not impressed, Davey. Go back to the island and sip drink.
Remember all the pictures he was sending? He was in the fucking water. He's all drinking whatever the fuck he's drinking with the ocean in the background. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, exactly. And I had fucking 92 feet of snow out my window. So, Davey Boy, right now, your opinion means fuck all to me. Welcome back to Twitter, buddy.
Yeah, he went away for a while, but Davey Boy's one of those guys that always brings something fucking hilarious to Twitter. So, definitely glad he's back. Except apparently Aaron's is going to keep shitting on you until you apologize for him.
I'm happy he's back. He's a great person. For me to poop on!
All right. So, Rampage is basically done. We'll have to we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. And then the other thing I want to talk about, Big Nog's fighting again. And my first thought, no, why? I don't.
I've been waiting so long for him to fight.
Wait. Who is he fighting?
Stefan Struve.
That's gonna be the fight of the fucking year, guys. I'm not joking. Fight of the year: Big Dog versus Stefan Struve.
Yeah, I gotta say, there's a sick sadistic part of me that actually likes this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, a dude that has full-on brain damage against a guy who has a full-on heart damage. This is awesome. Somebody's gonna end up in intensive care no matter what the fuck happens.
Well, Stefan Struve is kind of the new school Big Nog. He is the guy that takes it. Well, before his fucking heart gave out on him, he was kind of known as the guy that would take a beat and then come back and get the random submission at heavyweight.
He was known for that?
Yeah, well, wait, what the fuck? Yeah, he was. He had done it a couple fucking times.
He was known for that because the only thing I knew him for is the guy who could barely fit in the cage because he was so fucking tall and he had to buy specialized pants because he's 9'7". I didn't know him for nothing.
Hey, he fucking knocked out Stipe before he went down on his fucking bad heart murmur.
Nothing? All right. Anyway, I really don't care for this fight. I don't want to see either guy. Stefan Struve, he's just got so many health issues that and look, when Stefan Struve came back, they gave him fucking Matt Mitrione, and Mitrione beat the fuck out of him. They all knocked him out, and then now they got Big Nog against Stefan Struve. So. I don't really care to see Big Nog fight again. I think he should be done already.
All right, I'll tell you what, and this is kind of cutesy, but whatever. Right now, the only Nog I like is Eggnog. Fucking Little Nog, Big Nog, both of those fuckers can go away forever at this point. You've had a bust. Did you realize that those twins are my age? They're the same age as me. And both of those guys look like they're just pushing AARP age. That's when you know you've taken too many fucking beatings. It's time to fucking hang it up. When people mistake you for a dude who gets 50% off at any hotel that you go to, it is time to move on to coaching. Do you know what I mean? I'm not excited to see either of the Nogs. I'm not excited to see Stefan Struve do a stress test in the cage because, quite frankly, this is the kind of shit that could fuck the UFC. Honestly, Stefan Struve has a clear and concise case of heart disease. If this fucker dies of a massive myocardial infarction during the fight, you don't think that there's going to be some kind of fucking backlash? Because it ain't the first time we've heard about it. If he just fucking grabs his chest, keels over, Big Nog still keeps on the fucking inside heel hook and snaps his fucking calf in half, then they're like, oh shit, he's dead. That's going to be fucking even more goddamn kindling for the fire for New York and everywhere else. Look, we told you, it's fucking human cockfighting. He fucking died.
Settle down, settle down. I'm sure he got checked out by doctors. His fucking heart isn't going to explode if he gets put in a heel hook.
Kirby, he had to fucking pull out of a fight in the goddamn waiting or the dressing room one time. How good?
13 years ago.
What?
13 years ago that happened.
That was 2 fights ago, dickhead.
Either way, he's had a fight since then that he made it to and got fucking knocked out in, okay? He's clinically fine.
Okay, when he dies, it's on you, prick.
Hey, fuck that. It ain't on me. It's on the UFC and Zuffa, but still,
okay.
it should be fine.
Look at him fucking backpedal real quick.
MMAfighting.com headline: Fred Kirby from Standing Bang Radio and Gem City Fighting gets fighter killed in the cage.
Then he's Fred Kirby from
Yeah, he threw me off the fucking Titanic quick if that was the fucking case. Like,
I don't know.
I've never met that fucker before.
I'm in Michigan. I don't know anybody from Ohio. Fuck all that shit. Except
I get blocked on Twitter and shit.
Yeah. Anyway, it's weird enough that they let Stephen Struve fight, but they don't let Dan Hardy fight.
But that's the fucking point, though. I think that somebody fucking knows the difference. I doubt they're just like, yeah, Dan Hardy's got a wolf heart, so we're not going to let him, but let the big Swede fucking go for it. Like, somebody's fucking checking these guys out that knows what they're doing. A lot smarter than the three of us.
Did you say Dan Hardy has a wolf heart?
That's no bullshit. Yeah. I'm not making that shit up. It's a wolf heart.
He's literally got 2 heartbeats, which is fucking weird.
Okay. Completely fucking off the topic since the show is off the rails. I went to the zoo a couple days ago with my kids. For the record, there's a bunch of animals they need to take out of the fucking zoo. I don't need to see them there. Fucking Mexican wolves. No offense, Eddie, but I don't need to see a Mexican wolf at my zoo. We're like big dogs. Fucking prairie dogs. Fucking deers and shit.
Don't get mad at Mexican wolves. Okay, get mad at fucking Ohio doing dumb shit like bringing Mexican wolves to goddamn Ohio. That's like Ohio people. That's like when Ohio motherfuckers moved from Ohio to Arizona and brought the goddamn plants with them, and now I can't fucking breathe outside, assholes.
I always thought Mexico was full of coyotes.
Hey, goddamn it, that's not the point. The point is I didn't go to the zoo to look at little dogs. What the fuck? Let's not get off the point. The zoos need more dangerous creatures running around. I want to see fucking lions, tigers, and bears. No fucking cows and shit like that for me.
You live in Ohio, asshole.
That's the fucking point. That's why I went to the zoo. I can see that shit on the side of the street. I want a fucking lion, a fucking giraffe, a hippopotamus. Shit that don't grow in Ohio.
Fuck Ohio. I don't give a shit.
That's why I went to the fucking zoo.
I'll tell you what, bro. This is in all seriousness. If you want to go to a nice zoo and you got some time, you want to bring your little girls to a zoo, go to the Detroit Zoo. The Detroit Zoo is tight. That's all the shit that you're looking for. They got gorillas, they got lions, they got tigers, they got all that stuff in Detroit. So I know it's weird that they don't have that shit in Ohio, but they do have that shit in Lower Michigan. So I don't know.
Now, Jesus Christ, Detroit, huh? That's all I gotta do is fucking make it through fucking Detroit to get to a nice zoo? If I don't get my fucking throat slit, I'll be fine.
Just don't get off the fucking shut up! Don't get off the freeway till you get to the zoo, and then as soon as you're done, get the fuck out of there as fast as you can.
Yeah, you gotta drive real fucking fast to Detroit, man. I got friends that live in Detroit, and they're always talking about, oh yeah, I saw some guy get shot. I'm like, oh, that's normal for you? Like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay, fuck Detroit. I'm never going.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all right. Is there any other MMA shit that we can talk about? Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Fred.
Sorry. I had to fucking.
Anyway, since we're off of fucking zoos and shit, yeah, you're right. The show's off the rails. Fuck it. Melvin Gillard got pulled off of World Series of Fighting 20 for no showing a medical exam. First thought, of course, for a lot of people was, is this dude on roids or on something? Second thought was, who gives a shit? Melvin Gillard should be done at this point. I mean, he's kind of burned it.
Here's the thing about Melvin Gillard, is he hasn't lived in reality land for a while, man. He got cut from the UFC. I talked with Melvin. He still kept saying he was a UFC fighter. When he describes himself, he says UFC fighter. He openly shits on Cepho and World Series of Fighting. Like, openly, they're like, are you excited to be fighting this weekend? Man, fuck this busted organization and fuck Cepho. You know what I mean? It's like, holy Christ, to talk about a guy who doesn't fucking appreciate his job at all. And then last fight, he came in fat against Gaethje, not fat, but heavy. And then this one, he's just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm not going to go to the doctors. that's a clear-cut case of a dude who wants to be let go of his contract, and he's doing everything he can to not fight in World Series of Fighting again. And I think it's one of those things where, like what did Fred say about Gray Maynard? Oh, how the mighty hath fallen. Holy fuck, we're talking about one of the original Tough alum who actually looked like he might make some noise, man. When he was young, when Melvin Guillard first got out of that Tough house, some of the knockouts, you know, some of the things that he did was impressive. I thought Melvin Guillard was going to be something. And then, you know, guys who shouldn't beat him started beating him. Josh Neer beat him, and there's that other, was a little Italian dude that beat him. Anyways, it doesn't make any difference. He just, you know, and then you find yourself in World Series of Fighting, and it's kind of like the guy who was in blockbuster movies in 2000, like Shia LaBeouf. you find yourself in Transformers and everything, and then the next thing you could do is an off-Broadway play. You know what I mean? I think the guy's just trying to get himself kicked out at this point.
Yeah. Well, Fred, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he's not more popular at this point, right? He's fucking like a rock star. He's fucking like desecrating Ray Seppo, his boss, talking shit, does what he wants, comes in overweight, fucking just doesn't come in at all. Like a fucking honorary Diaz brother, this guy. Does whatever he wants. What the fuck you think the fucking fans would be all on his dick behind this shit? But here we are, giving him shit for it. Bunch of crybabies. I think he's badass.
All right. Well, hey, look, I found Aaron's meme. Circle is real. Constipation for shark, and it makes too much sense. And you got someone fucking what's it? Sweet say is fucking spamming your fucking picture.
Yeah, she wants me to get follows. But seriously, look at the look on Crow Cop's face. That is the look you pull when you let shit out when you fart in your pants.
Oh,
okay,
man.
so we might as well at least talk about this fight, right? Like, who do you guys think? Do you give a fuck who wins, and who do you think is actually going to win?
I want to see Crow Cop get vindication because he got Crow Cop last time. I want to see Gonzaga lose and Crow Cop go out on a good note.
I do too. I want to see Crow Cop get a head kick knockout and then retire.
Yeah, actually, that's funny. For once in a fucking lifetime, we all actually agree on something. I actually am completely the same way. I want to fucking see Crow Cop. Cocksuckers. You couldn't even let me get my fucking opinion out about the Crow Cop fight.
You were talking.
Switch it right the fuck off the rails.
You were talking. I had to put Connor up.
Yeah. I'll finish my fucking thought now, goddammit.
Okay,
I want to
sorry,
see Crow Cop win fucking too. I want to see Crow Cop win too. But who gives a fuck though, right? I mean, win or loss, it's not really a relevant fight. But I mean, it would be cool to see Crow Cop get a fucking head kick.
Now, did Gonzaga won his last fight? Did he not?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
he did find out.
Yeah, because he had that mustache going on in his last fight.
The mustache. What a fucking hideous facial fucking trend.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Let's talk about your fucking beard, asshole. Like, what are you talking about? It's a horrible trend.
What the fuck? I don't look like a child molester with a fucking mustache. Jesus Christ.
That should be the fucking bet. That should be the bet. If Conor fucking McGregor loses, you should have to cut off the beard, but leave the fucking mustache.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's not get crazy. I don't know if I'm taking that fucking bet. I hate the fucking stash. The stash is the grossest facial hair experience ever. You can't not look like a pedophile.
Yeah, if you lose and you got to shave, are you just going to go clean shaven?
Well, yeah, I'll fucking shave it up.
All right. Real quick, I got a couple fucking facts wrong here. It wasn't Mitrione that knocked out Stefan Struve. In fact, that fight never even went down. Stefan Struve actually got sick and with the heart issue. He actually passed out in the back, so that fight never happened. The fight that did happen was Stefan Struve getting the shit kicked out of him by Overeem.
Yeah, right.
Gonzaga's last fight was in Phoenix in December. He got knocked out by Matt Mitrione, and Gonzaga's actually riding a 2-fight losing streak against Stipe and Matt.
Ah.
All right, so you know what? That makes this fight even fucking less relevant. Yay!
This is just a fucking thing about seeing, you know, everyone's always going to talk about how Gonzaga head kick he Crow Cop, and now we want to see Crow Cop, you know, get him back, and that's
that was a pivotal moment for me, honestly, man. That was one of the biggest fucking upsets I can remember seeing. Crow Cop had so much hype. If you remember at the time, I think Randy Couture was the champion, man, and the Crow Cop Couture fight was going to be huge, and Gonzaga was simply a fucking technicality. and I'll be a son of a bitch if he didn't finish Crow Cop with his finishing move. That was fucking crazy. It almost does give this fight a little credence, honestly, just because the first one was so insane.
But him knocking out Crow Cop led to one of my favorite UFC moments, is when Randy Couture lifted up Gonzaga and landed with the top of his head on Gonzaga's nose, and you heard that fucker crunch when they landed, and that was fucking the end of Gonzaga's night. That was awesome to see that bitch just pour blood.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's say, to end the show, let's take a quick look at this card. Any fights on here that you guys even care about?
Let me see. Nope.
I like the Calderwood fight.
I like Blackowicz. That dude was pretty good. Who's he fighting? Is he fighting Manoa?
Yeah, Manoa.
Yeah, man, that'll be a fun fight.
I like to see Jimmy Manuwa fight. That's a good one. Calderwood is always, because that one, that they're trying to get Calderwood versus Jedrzejczyk. That's the next title fight the UFC wants, I'm betting.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I thought you fuckers just died there for a second.
But she hasn't fucking really shown herself yet, man. I mean, everybody talks about how good her striking is, and it's looked okay, but I don't think she's really made a statement yet. I think they're trying to give her that fight where she can come out and fucking thrash a bitch and make a fucking statement that she deserves it. So we'll see. She needs to come out and look really fucking good.
Yeah, well, she's fighting the Shadow, so she ought to do pretty good against the Shadow.
That's that's a Mortal Kombat character, man. That's just what it is. Anyway, Andrew Reed tweeted it back saying Uncle Creepy. I'm assuming he's talking about the mustache on Uncle Creepy.
Yeah,
what the fuck? His nickname is Uncle Motherfucking Creepy. What the fuck? Hence the mustache equals fucking creep.
Better fitting nickname, Uncle Creepy or Andre Touchy Feely?
Oh, I like Touchy Feely.
I like Uncle Creepy as far as it goes.
There you go. All right, and then Andrew also says the co-main at Krakow or Poland, whatever, is the better fight. I agree with that as well. So.
And then I can hear a Joe Rogan riff on how relevant Gonzaga Crow Cop will be. That's actually pretty true. I'm sure that Rogan will be able to spin this with his huge neck veins bulging out and the top of his head turning purple. He will sell us on how awesome that this next fight is going to be. Oh boy.
That's exactly the feeling everyone's gonna get. Like, all right, this fight's okay. That's great.
There you go. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. On that note, we're gonna end the show. Anything else you guys want to talk about before we sign off here?
Wait. Is there anything? What's going on with World Series? Is there a title fight, or why are they even holding an event?
Let me find out. I fucking completely forgot about that. Is that this weekend for sure?
Yeah. Don't we have 3 events again this weekend?
Bellator's this weekend too.
Who the fuck's fighting Bellator?
Bellator, fucking god damn it. Joe Schilling's fighting. Yeah, that's a fun guy to watch.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be fun. He's always fun to watch.
Is this the World Series of Fighting where we got the superhero?
Let me find out. I'm trying to pull up dude, here's the thing. The World Series of Fighting website is so fucked. It's still got World Series of Fighting 19 shit on it.
Then let's not talk about it.
Here we go. April 10th, World Series of Fighting. We have David Branch against Ronnie Marks.
It's Hani Marquez, you asshole.
I know. I'm with everybody right now. I'm trying to see what you're gonna say. Anyway, let me pull up the card on screen share so you guys can see what the fuck I'm saying here.
I actually who is it that does the announcing with Boss on World Series of Fighting?
Isn't the guy from ASSES TV, or am I wrong on that?
I thought it was Rice. Isn't it something Rice?
That's what I think it is.
Yeah, definitely. He was calling him Ronnie Marks, and I actually got a hold of Boss, and I was like, HONNYMARKEZ, Hani Marquez, and Boss got back to me. He's like, thanks, I was wondering about that.
All right, so the card here, we got David Branch and Hani fighting for.
There's the superhero, Jones versus Wallow.
There you go, yeah. And then Nick Newell fighting some guy named Condon. I have no idea who that is.
But you do know who Nick Newell is, right?
Yeah, the one-armed dude, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that he hasn't changed his nickname to the One-Armed Bandit. I mean, I know it's kind of that'd be fucking funny.
He'd have to have a sense of humor for that. And from all the interviews I've seen of him and the shit he said on Twitter to people that get mad at him or that he gets mad at, he's not really that funny.
Do y'all give a fuck about David Branch and Hani Marquez?
No.
Well, no, but isn't, as far as I understand, David Branch is already the 185-pound champion. Isn't he going up to 205 to challenge Hani Marks for the 205-pound tournament? Isn't that what this is happening?
Yeah, this is part of the tournament, and I think
wait a minute. What? Do they got the superhero wearing his mask on the fucking?
Yeah, I was going to say that. That's exactly what it is.
You can't maximize that. Oh, there you go. Look at that. We got a real live fucking superhero.
That's what I'm talking about. Fuck the David Branch, Jack. Batman's fighting on this card.
If he doesn't come into the fucking cage wearing that shit, I'm going to be pissed.
Dude, where does he get that shit made? That shit can't be inexpensive.
Nah, it costs a fucking lot of money, dude, I'm sure.
It's got to be uncomfortable as fuck, too, man.
Yeah, but he's going around stopping little old ladies from being mugged, so it's worth every penny.
All right, and then the rest of the fights, no one fucking knows.
And then we got Montoya versus Dugalog.
That's the sound that someone makes when they're drowning. It's like, that's all it is. Anyway, yeah, I don't know any of the rest of these guys. So, World Series of Fighting 20 going down this weekend.
And you'll not be able to see, don't worry, fans, you'll not be able to see any of the fucking prelims nowhere on Earth, because guaranteed Cepho and the boys will fuck the fucking feet up on their website, and all you'll see is that fucking circle going around again and again and again. God, I hate that shit.
All right, I'm pulling up the Bellator card as we can touch on that.
It's Ill Will Brooks.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a good fighter.
Yeah. The Bellator card will be all right, actually.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent looking card. I mean, I honestly just want to see the main and the co-main. I don't really know anything about the other two except for Volkov. Volkov's been away for like a couple years, I think. So.
Yeah, no, the main and the co-main. I want to see if Schilling can keep destroying guys, and I got Ill Will Brooks. I got Ill Will Brooks taking Carvalho pretty easily, I'd say. Or no, wait, you screwed me. Go back.
Dave Jansen.
Jansen's a legit threat, but I think that Brooks is kind of coming to his own after that second Chandler fight.
I agree with that. And Joe Schilling's a bad motherfucker. If he could just get his MMA, his ground game right, he could destroy anybody. But I think he wins this fight too. So it'll be a nice little win for Joe Schilling.
I think the matchmakers at Bellator should just be smart and not put him up against anybody who has any wrestling credentials whatsoever, and just let him keep crushing faces. Because quite frankly, he's one of the most exciting fighters they've got.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. There's no sense in them trying to test his wrestling out. Who gives a fuck? What they need is him out there fucking killing people on Spike TV. What the fuck, for sure.
All right, and what did it say? Oh, earlier, and I forgot to read this one. Andrew Reed tweeted out Bears and Khabib on the Kirby drinking game.
Bears and Khabib. Yeah,
so anytime I guess Bears and Khabib, Nurmagomedov, he drinks.
That's my dude, the Russian bear, son.
Dude, I'm telling you, that Andrew Reed's got you pegged pretty well. It should be Ronda armbar, Khabib bear, anything with Conor McGregor, and every time he says low-key styling or Jack.
Yeah, and then you'll die of alcohol poisoning anytime you tune in to us assholes, for sure.
One day we gotta do this show. We gotta do this show on a Saturday night or on a Friday night where we can actually. Well, obviously, Aaron's not gonna drink shit, but at least us, if we could play a drinking game with this shit, we might actually get fucked up on the air here. I think it'd be funny.
All right, let's do it.
It would get out of fucking hand.
What do you think? It's 20 after. Time to go. What do you think?
Yeah, it's time to go, man. We're late. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in to Keyboard Warriors presented by CrossfitMMA.com. Of course, thanks to my guests, Fred Kirby from Stand and Bang Radio and Gem City Fighting. You can follow him at Kirby_MMA. And follow Aaron over at Stand and Bang Radio. And the new website, once again, give it out, dude.
It is standandbangmma.com. One-stop shop to be able to watch all of the episodes of Stand and Bang MMA podcast on all different formats. So stop by. We got a place where you can give us comments or hate on us, give us feedback. Kirby really wants some feedback. So you can hate on Kirby all you want on standandbangmma.com.
Every time he says Jack, just be like, "What the fuck, dude?" Or Conor McGregor. He's gonna. Every time you talk about Conor McGregor on a stand, you know what, dude? That should be your thing. Every episode, you have to find a way to bring up Conor McGregor to whoever the fuck is on.
Hey,
that should be your thing.
We might do that. We might do that right up until he loses here pretty quick.
Oh.
Woo.
Zing.
All right.
On that note, go fuck yourself, everybody. Good night.
Good night, bitches. Keep it together. All right, you guys. Talk to you guys later.
Later, guys.